Good morning. Big up to everyone. It's your boy, MarkN MUFC fan. You know what it is, guys. It's the morning views, Manchester United news, and everyone has been talking about the FA Cup coming up this week, and everyone has been also talking about the players coming back from injury. But other news coming about has seemed to be focused on transfers. While I think it's super early to be talking about transfers, we got 10 games left. The league's not over. The fight's not done. The road's still on the way. Guys, what are your thoughts? Get in the comments. Let me know what you're thinking. Hope you're having a great day. ERIK Tenhag at Manchester United. Everyone knows all eyes is on him. All of the media, they can't stop writing about the Manchester United manager. The guy is the most famous man right now in England. This is my thoughts. Because you know what? Everyone has something negative to say about, another manager could do it better. But what have we seen this season? Despite all the different problems and issues he's been facing, the long list of toxicity, the outburst, the stuff that happens outside of the football field and on it, with the different stars. If we talk about Anthony, we could talk about Rashford, we could talk about Mason Greenwood as well, and Jaden Sancho, who also scored a goal last night. It's been one of those weeks, those months, and those seasons for Manchester United. But guys, what are your thoughts? Do you really think replacing ERIK Ten Hag is going to do anything? Do you think it's going to be the quick fix? Or are we going to go through the 18-month process all over again until we find the right manager? You know, can you as fans handle being set back 2 seasons? It's not something that I want to do. But you know what? Let's get right into the comments. Let's get with John Morgan. He's going to come in and give his views this morning. And we're going to keep it really brief because you know what? We've got a long week ahead. Sunday we play Liverpool in the FA Cup. We're hoping to get a victory. However we get it, snatch it, maybe comfortable. Or you know what? Scrape or win. It's going to be a dogged game. Liverpool is trying to chase down more than one trophy this season. They're also at top of the league. So you never know if it might be a bonus, something that boosts the mentality of the players if we get a win, because we also face them 2 weeks later in the Premier League. Guys, international break is coming up. What's going on? Hopefully, Hoyland doesn't go out to international break for Denmark and he stays and gets the rest. Although maybe he should get like a few minutes or game time. You never know. But in my opinion, he needs to rest until the game against Liverpool in the Premier League, or maybe against Brentford, who we played a week before. Guys, your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to smash the likes and subscribe. It's your boy, MarkN MUFC fan. Let's get the show on the road. Big up, and my boy John Morgan is here. What's going on, John? How's your day doing, and how are you feeling, my bro?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Had an early morning, but I'm back. I'm back now. Everything is all sorted out. Crazy Champions League night last night. Like you said,
Wow,
three Inter missing three penalties. That's crazy.
bro.
People losing their minds in the socials and people losing their mind on YouTube. um, but I'm good. I'm good. How are you, bro?
I'm chilling. I'm chilling. I'm just thinking about, we got the FA Cup this weekend. To be fair, guys, I kind of forgot that there was Champions League this week, so I had the show booked Tuesday night, and then I realized it was a Champions League night, bro, because we're out of the Champions League. It's one of those things, man. It's bad.
Yeah.
It's bad. But I had to change the show and I brought it into the morning this morning because you know what? I felt like we need to talk about it, discuss it. It's not been a great season, but at the same time, you know what? The road is not over. There's still a possibility. And I'm one of those guys that don't like to give up until there's no hope left. You know what I
Mm,
mean? I know a
yeah.
lot of people look at it and say, well, United has been up and down. We're probably going to get 4 wins of the last 10. But I'm looking at it like maybe with the players coming back, we got 2 more weeks rest. International break coming up right after the game on Sunday. It gives us a chance to get players like Wan Bissaka back fit. in the team training, for 2 weeks. It gets us to get more players back. Like, who knows? You might see Luke Shaw returning the week during international break. It's a possibility. There's also you might hear Mason Mount. He's back on grass. So 2 weeks more, he might be available. I mean, I would like to see what he has to offer, bro, because since he came here, he got the number 7. It's been a lot of hype, but it's
Mm.
not been any output. So
Yeah.
it's one of those things I would like to see. I would like to see us stick a dagger in Liverpool and turn it and twist it. Maybe
Oh,
a 1-0 win, 2-1, something late, just to let them know, like, listen, Man United, we can still do it. What are your thoughts, bro?
yeah. So I think so. I have this. I for some reason I don't think Liverpool is good. For some reason, I think they win their games, but the way they win their games is not really convincing. They create a lot of chances, which you have to give them credit for, but they also concede a lot of chances. And if you set up, and I think if you set up a team against them, they've struggled to find answers if you counter the game plan. The way we did it when we went to Anfield, we didn't give them a sniff. We didn't give them a chance to let their players run in behind. We didn't give them midfielders time on the ball. Most of the time, the team was defensive in a low block, defending the 18-yard area, defending the final third of the pitch. Right. So like Liverpool is not City. With City, you kinda in a rock and a hard place because you know that they have the tools and they have the weapons to to unlock the door, as they say, right? To unlock the defense. With Liverpool, they have a players like Darwin Nunes, who's kinda effective, but he's not really a goal scorer. That he doesn't score all the chances that he gets. You have Luis Diaz, who's fantastic on the wing, but again, doesn't score enough goals. On the right hand side, we you have they sometimes play Elliot, and then they have players coming back in Sabozlai, in what's the brother's name, McAllister. All these different players, they are in their first season at the club, so you don't expect them to be amazing. So I think for me, if I look at this Liverpool team, I think I have more confidence in us winning and getting something from the game, or winning the game because it's FA Cup quarterfinal, winning the game than I had with City. And with City, I was fairly confident because I believe we could have did a job. But obviously that moment of brilliance from Phil Foden, and all of a sudden, and ref again, hang us. They we say that, yeah, hang us in that game. So that's why we lost. But if I look at Liverpool's team, we can definitely compete. We can definitely win. I don't see a reason why we can't win because the team is not that refined.
Yeah, it's one of those things. I'm big up to KennyFANtv coming in. How you doing, my bro? You know, and big up to you, GB. Hope you're having a good morning. I do agree with what you're saying there, because sometimes, some teams, excuse me, it's normally one of those things where, they perform really well, or they have been performing well for some seasons, and we're just like, okay, they're shooing to do this and do that. I mean, who would have thought Man City would be in third in the Premier League right now? Third.
Mm,
It's insane. You know what I mean? Everyone predicted Man City doing a treble again. So
yeah,
for me, sometimes it's different. It's difficult to predict football, because at the day, on the match day, anything can happen. And we've seen our performance against Liverpool earlier on this season, where we went there and we got a draw. Very resilient, very decent performance from the team. A team that was also injury stricken at the time.
yeah, yeah,
So me, I look at it like, Man United could turn up. We've got the capability to do something, but sometimes, we just don't perform well, and it's hard, because these guys could do better, but you know what, they're just not doing it. You know what I mean, John? So
yeah,
I'm looking at it like, I was confident against Man City, because I was like, you know what, if we pull off the tactics right, we was gonna get a win. You know what I mean?
mm,
And as John is talking about here, you can ask Luton, because Luton is one of those teams people expected to be a whipping boy, and they're probably gonna be the only one who came up that's gonna stay up this season, because they've been playing well. And resilience is something very important as a footballer in a football game. You need to be resilient. Everything is not gonna go your way, but if you let it get to you, it's gonna throw you off your game, and then you're gonna
yeah,
have a bad time. So I'm looking at I'm looking forward to Manchester United coming out with a similar kind of tactic that we played against Man City,
Mm.
but keep it a little bit more compact and take the chances that we create, because that's a big problem as well. We have not been taking the chances we've been creating, and that's been straining us because if you miss, and then these teams, I'm not saying Liverpool is better than United. I'm not saying City is not better than United right now in this moment. But at the same time, I'm saying that these teams have been playing under their systems for more than 5 to 6 years, which means it's ingrained. It's now
Yeah,
automatic default, repetitive motion.
yeah,
And we haven't had a time to get that into our squad, and we need that. And
exactly.
this is why I'm so hell bent on backing this manager at least one more season. I would really like to give him two, but I'm just gonna say one for the fans out there who are not ERIK TENHAG fans. Because
Mm.
at the end of the day, I feel like with a few more players into the squad, some young players to supplement as well, you're gonna see that defined style you want. It's gonna
Yeah.
be high intensity, high attacking play, and we're gonna achieve stuff with it.
And Mark, you said something very important, and you said that these teams are 5, 6, 7 years into their project, into the style of play, right? Ralph Rangnick said 2 seasons ago, he said in an interview, he said, if you wake Liverpool players up, City players up, you wake them up at 3 o'clock in the morning and you blindfold them and you say, we're going to go play a football match, they will be able to play exactly the same way they're able to play on a Saturday or on a Sunday because of the identity and the DNA that has been ingrained and that has been trained and the muscle memory that they went through over this past 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years, right? That compared to what we see at the moment with our club is obvious that it's obvious that we're not going to see the same kind of fluidity, the same kind of press, the same kind of results, the same kind of runs and competition for games because we're not there yet. We need time to get there. Now, for me, right, regardless of the tactics, regardless of how we set up, we need to win the game in our mind first. We need to win the game in our mind first. And if we don't want to, if we are not able to win the game in our mind, we're going to lose this game. Because Liverpool, they're not playing great football, but they're finding a way to win. They're not um um making amazing chances, but they're finding a way to win. If you look at the game against Nottingham Forest, the whole game they were poor. Anthony Langa had so many chances, so many chances, so many chances to score. They don't score. What they do? One chance from Darwin Nunes, header, amazing goal. They win the game. No one remembers that game because it's a 1-0 win. The great teams find a way to win, but they don't look at the way they played. They don't look at the way they played. They don't look at all the chances that they conceded.
Mm,
The fact of the matter is that you're gonna concede chances. Liverpool's going to concede chances. So in our head, in Man United's brain, in our players' minds, in our manager and in our coaches' minds, they must have this mindset: we're going to win this game. Not we can,
100%.
we're going to win this game. Every 50-50, I'm gonna be there. Whatever the manager tell me I'm gonna do, whether I must run for passes that is far ahead of me, whether I must run for lost causes, whatever the case may be, in my mind, I'm winning this game. And once you have that mentality, all of a sudden now you all of a sudden are a threat. Because you can't tell me Marcus Rashford's not a threat. You can't tell me Garnacho's not a threat. If Hoyland plays, you can't tell me he's not a threat. You can't tell me Bruno's not a threat. However, we see Bruno these days, because all of a sudden, for me personally, I feel like the revision on Bruno is crazy because all of a sudden Bruno's trash. Right? I've heard someone say that they would rather have John McGinn than Bruno. That's crazy. But you can't tell me that Kobe is not playing well. You can't tell me Casemiro is not a good player. So we have good players. It all comes down to our mentality. When once we step onto the pitch, we must be able to win the game in our minds before we get into that field. So, so
100%.
yeah, that's just all I wanted to say. Felt like a
Like Rash, like for me, you ever remember looking at the lineups of football teams as they line up beginning before games and seeing the expressions of some of those players, bro?
yeah,
It used to look like, yeah, I'm ready, I'm pumped up, let's go, let's, get into a battle, it's war, it's a war, you know. sometimes when you look at some of the United players' faces, they're not looking too confident. You know what I mean? They're
Yeah.
looking shaky, a kind of way. And for me, that's not how we should be looking on the lineup. At the lineup, we should be at least when we
I think your mic is out.
it's really, really a situation where, you know, how. You guys hear me, right?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Yes, I can hear you now.
Yeah, so it's one of those things. It's real tough. So for me, I just look at it from the perspective where it's possible where teams might want to do this and they want to do that, but at the same time, you got to keep it consistent. You have to walk in there as a player, like whether it's Manchester United or you're playing for Luton. When you're lining up, it's still 0-0. So you had to believe you could win. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? If you believe you could win, when the fans see you standing there, they're gonna believe that you're gonna do something as well. You know,
Mm,
players have to have more confidence, more courage. We're in a kind of culture right now, bro, where I feel like a lot of footballers feel like they're owed something or entitled to something,
oh, I hate that, man.
entitled to starting games, entitled to getting, a high wage, entitled to being, unreproachable by fans for performances. I feel that is so not true and so disingenuous. Back then, you know, everything was about the performance on the match day.
Mm,
You know, right now, most players for me is all about what they could talk about. You know, oh, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, but there's no actions behind their words, bro. You
mm.
know what I mean? And we might be real revisionists as Manchester United because look at it like this: people want the Zerbi over Eric Ten Hag. You know what I mean? And look at the Zerbi, bro. The man fighting for ninth whole season from the start of the season till now. Nice football or not, you're fighting for ninth place, bro. Like it have 8 teams better than you. You know what I mean? Like,
Exactly. And on that point of nice football, Vincent Company came to the league. Beautiful football. He plays a nice brand of football. It lies in the eyes. But what's the point of good football if you're getting relegated?
bruv,
There's no point. You need to, if you're going to play good football, you need to win. And if you're not going to win, there's no point. You need to first find a way to win and ingrain that style of play into a winning style of play. You can't have a style of play that, okay, we're going to score lots of goals, but then you concede more goals than you score. Then, it, then,
100%.
it's, then, it's, then it's redundant. Then you defeating the purpose. So for me, if I look at the Zerbi, I saw they wanted Inzaghi. Inzaghi's now out of the Champions League. Do we still want Inzaghi? Um, I see we want Potter. Potter, what football?
Bro.
What football we going to play with Harry Maguire, with Scott McTominay, with Marcus Rashford, with Bruno Fernandes, with Casemiro, with all these different kinds of players? What style of play are we going to play with these different kinds of players we have at our club?
Well, I mean, these guys don't want to see consistency, bro. And I keep saying it to them because they're like these. I feel like it's always a new shiny toy, and it's like for me, it's like why, why
Yeah,
everything new? Like everyone
yeah,
is like, let's go get Kivrat Skelia. He had a great season last season. This season, the man barely do it. He not even making an impact. You know what I
mm.
mean? Garnacho has more goals and assists than this dude. I think it's like by 5. Like he have like 3 or 4 more goals and 3 more
Really?
assists than this dude this season. The dude has been utter rubbish.
Yo,
Yeah. It's a disrespect, bro, to Eric Ten Hag because look at as you said about company. I go and mention Potter. And I want to draw this reference to everyone. Graham Potter had 3 seasons in the Premier League before he joined Chelsea. 124 games. Man lost 50 of those games. You know how many games he draw? The man draw another 50 games and only win 28. That's Graham Potter statistics, right?
Yo.
Forget Graham Potter for a second. De Zerbi in the Premier League 67 games now, right? He won 21 of those games. He lost 28 of those games. And the
Yo.
rest of the games he drew. You know, Look at that compared to Eric Ten Hag.
Nah, ERIK TENHAG is.
And De Zerbi coming to the Premier League the same season as Eric Ten Hag.
Yeah.
Same season, same time. And
And
he has a club. A lot of people don't like to see this, De Zerbi at a club with a very, very, very good structure. And they have players for positions, even a backup. Sorry about that, bro. There are test alert right now this morning where I'm at. There's in Europe and it's strange things and strange times sometimes, bro.
okay, no
But
stress.
what are your thoughts, bro? Because
Yeah. No, for me, like that's 100% right. If you look at these different managers, these different managers have their downfalls. These different managers have their issues. We can't, like you said, new shiny toy. The new shiny toy breaks sometimes, and we can see the red flags. Red flag number one: you don't know how to speak to the media. All right, that's a red flag number one. ERIK TENHAG knows how to handle himself with the media, and the media knows that he can handle them. That's why they don't like him. That's why they're writing stories about um him getting sacked. This manager's on the list, that manager's on the list. Everything is just opinion pieces and assumptions, which gets me on my last nerve. Because the thing is, right, you can't say, Mark, I talk to you every day now, right? I talk to you every day. ERIK TENHAG speaks to these journalists every single week. He speaks to them, all right, and they ask him questions and he gives them answers, right? It's a win-win situation because you write the papers, I give the fans something to talk about, I give the fans context, a win-win situation.
mm-hmm.
But now, every other day that I don't speak to you, Mark, I'm saying Mark's not a good streamer. Mark is this. Mark is that. I don't like Mark's cap. I don't like Mark's headphones. I don't like his smile. I like nothing. And then I still come to you and I still look you in your face and I ask you, oh Mark, what do you think of the team? That is utter disrespect. That is utter disrespect. And the thing is, the reason why I'm saying it's disrespect is because it's subjective attacks. It's opinion pieces. It's not factual. How can you say, okay, you say it's factual. How can you say it's likely that Gareth Southgate is on the list? Listen to that words. It is likely that. Likely, meaning I'm making an assumption to say that I kind of have an understanding of how this list looks like. I didn't see the list, but I'm sure in my mind and in their minds that there is a name on the list. Sorry, sir. Do you know or don't you know? Are you aware or are you not aware? Because if you are aware, then you must say, Graham or Graham Potter or Gareth Southgate or whoever you want to put, whatever manager you want to put there in, they are on the list to be the Man United manager Ineos is looking at. You can't add a word like likely, because if you add a word like likely, all of a sudden what you're doing is you're protecting yourself to make sure that whoever calls you out on it, you can say, but I said likely, I didn't say it is true. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So that is my issue with the media. You need to, if you're a Man United manager, you must be able to handle this media in a way that you don't offend them, that you win every single game, that you give them nothing to talk about, that everything they ask you, that you must agree with what they say, and it's not physically possible. And for me, that's why I liked your phrase where you said, "All eyes on me, all eyes on Tenag." Nobody cares about Eddie Howe that got into the Champions League and that now they're struggling. He's in ninth position or in 10th position. I don't know. Lost to Chelsea on the weekend. Yes, okay, injuries has been the reason why he hasn't been doing as well. But if you look at our team is riddled with injuries. So why can't we make the same excuse? Nobody's talking about Pochettino, £1 billion spent.
I
Nobody's
mean,
speaking about the Zerbi. You know?
nobody talking about Pochettino, bro. But everybody making excuses for De Zerbi. Everybody making excuses for basically when Spurs had their little bit of injuries, but people let's forget that everyone has eyes, and Spurs missed their players due to injuries. The one defender who was injured, the other defender who had a red card because he can't
Mm,
keep himself playing,
yeah.
FIFA fair play. You know, then you look at it, they lost 4 games back to back in really terrible fashion. You know what I mean? I mean, even though we lost games this season, we haven't lost 4 in a row. You know what I mean? We've lost 3 in a row, drew, lost 2, drew, and then we won games. So when I look at it, I'm like, listen, this is so disingenuous. I mean, I'm just having a good season. This is his first season, I would say let's compare Ange with Erik Ten Hag next season with his performances, because the way it looks to me in the second half of this season, a lot of teams has figured out how he plays, and
Yeah.
it's now becoming really tough for them to win some games. And you know what I mean, like at the end of the day, football is a funny sport, but when a team is positive and confident, they will get away and get
Mm.
a win somehow. At the same time, when you look at Erik Ten Hag, a lot of people say they don't like his character. Some people don't like the way he speaks, as he was mentioning in his press conferences. But at the same time, people have to understand that you can't always come and tell the truth in a press conference. Like I can't always come and criticize the players. If I come out on reckless delegation every day and have a reckless take, you know,
Mm.
then people going to say, you know what, bro, this dude, he just coming to be sensational. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So, in my opinion, you can have your reckless takes. You can make your reckless statements once in a while, because then you're being shameless, and everybody knows. It's just like most journalists, they be being shameless most of the time, but with some of the
Mm.
articles, because Gareth Southgate, no disrespect to England, but this dude has been the reason why England has not performed well in the last few years. Like,
Oh,
is one of the managers in football who, for me, has a squad that is better than his capabilities.
superstars, bro.
Big up to you, Jarvis Cocker. Hope you're doing well. Your morning ride is definitely nicer now. I heard that you got your Tesla back. Hope it's working to your satisfaction, my bro. How are you doing? But you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? At the end of the day, we could talk about things and we can make it difficult. We could criticize the manager. Of course we should. Of course we should criticize players who aren't
Mm.
performing well. But at the same time, we should try to keep a little bit of sense of realism. If you look at all the different situations that happened this season under this manager, right? And the way and where we are in the table. Can you imagine if De Zerbi experienced those things, where he would be? What about Ange? What about Klopp? Mr. Complainer. What about Mikel Arteta? If any one of these coaches, even Pep, experience a situation like that, where would they be? Well, I could tell you, I've seen where Graham Potter was experiencing less, a lot less than that at Chelsea. You know what I mean? He was in 12th, almost 16th, you know? And it was like, for me, when I look at it, listen, track records speak a lot. If this season we had no injuries, I assume we would be shooing in top four. Definitely, because you know what?
Definitely.
Every time this season we had the full back line available, we went on a winning streak of at least 4 to 5 games. You can't deny it. Check it out yourself if you think my statistics are wrong, because I can show you. We were the team of the week in October, and we were the team of the month in November. We won 11 games between those 2 months. We were
Mm.
also the team of the month in January, and February, because we were on 11 games unbeaten.
Mm.
you know so this is why I keep saying to fans, it's okay to criticize the manager, it's okay to be disappointed in where Manchester United is at this season, but it's still the second season of a rebuild.
Yeah.
And no matter what anyone says, this manager needs to be allowed to change his squad over, whether it's him particularly choosing the players or he doing it with the committee. Because there's some rumors in the background that there's Dan Ashworth, he's a done deal. And it's a possibility that, Sam Wilcox is also a done deal. So
Mm.
if those guys are the guys coming in to work with Omar Barada, then let's just give Erik Ten Hag next season. He's gonna have the best in the business, bringing in his profiles for him. He can't get it wrong, because he's gonna have actual footballing people there to make the proper decisions. And any
Yeah.
club in world football that's elite, they always discuss with their manager the type of players they need. It's never be
100%.
we buy the players and you just coach them. That
100%.
only happens at small clubs that sell players as a selling club. Like,
Mm.
I won't say Ajax because they're just above that barrier, but maybe a club like Brighton is more like that. You know
Mm.
what I mean? So that's just my views. Big up to everyone coming in. I don't know what your views are on those things, but it would be nice if you could all let us know how you feel about Erik Ten Hag, the performances, and the media bias this season. Because you know what? At the end of the day, sometimes it's a bit ridiculous, sometimes it's founded, and sometimes it's just not true. But you know what? There's still a long road to go with the system, with the structure coming in place soon under the Trawler Group and Jim Ratcliffe. There's only simple things that we can do. And it's one thing where we can continue to progress, whether it is slow, as long as it's steady is all I would have to say about those things. If it's steady progress, we will get there in the end. Guys, I didn't expect us to finish above top 4 this season. I thought top 4 was just going to be the minimum where we finished, because I was always thinking maybe we would have seen some more of these first teamers leave in the summer gone, but we haven't seen it. There's a £75 million bid for Marcus Rashford. Guys, sell him. I'm not even gonna, there's not much to say about it. Sell it. Take the money. We need it. We're broke. Everyone need to understand that. We want all these fancy players, but we don't got the cap. But that 75 million creates 150 million in the salary cap for the purchases, because it's pure profit. So because you get 75 million, you could technically with FFP you could spend 150, right? If you want to have a big window, we got to put some sales in, guys. And that's my reckless take this morning. The 75 million offer, we should accept it. We should have accepted it already. It should be already a done acceptance, in my opinion.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely. I mentioned on KG stream last night that don't negotiate. Don't negotiate. Accept the money. 75? Sure, 75, that's fine. Where do I sign? Okay, so tell Fabrizio, you must say, here we go. We could. You know what I mean?
Listen, everybody talking about John Muta was in Barcelona. What's it be? Well, I just wanted to let everybody know the CAA does not represent Mason Greenwood. His father is his agent, right? The CAA represents Varane and Jadon Sancho, right? So if anything is possible, it might be that we might be selling one of those two players, or, we might be selling one. And maybe we sell Jadon Sancho to Barcelona. He had a goal last night for the Borussia Dortmund that took them over the line to move on in the Champions League. Well done for him. Keep that money. Keep that, the value going up, my brother, with the good performances. This is what I want to see, because I definitely want to get at least 45, 50 million for you. You know what? And guys, with the sound of the warning, I'm going to take that as a, let's end the stream. Thank you guys for joining me. There's been a lot of warnings this morning. Testing is going on in my city right now for, whatever situations it is. I'm not too sure. Usually it would be like for warning signs, signals for different things that might be happening. Hopefully it's nothing serious, but you will definitely catch us on the Reckless Delegation stream in a few minutes. Big up to you, my buddy John Morgan, for coming in. It's glad to have you in the mornings. It's been the best to have you to talk to in the mornings, bro. I have to say that it makes the streams a lot better, and I get a lot more views. Thank you for that. Big up to everyone in the chat for coming in. Big up to KennyFANtv. Big up to you, GB, for coming in. Big up to you again, Jarvis Cocker. And big up to you, Manu Tata, my brother. I know you're always here because you like my views. I know you oppose me sometimes, but I know you like the way that I think. And you know what, bro? We're definitely not getting Ivan Toney. That's for sure. I can tell you for free. But, it's going to be up in the air what happens in the transfer window, but I definitely have a lot of news coming on that. I'm not doing any coverage until match week 34 on transfers, guys. I'm keeping it tight. I got a few gems that I want to talk about, but at the same time right now, I'm going to leave it right there on the back burner. We still have games to go. And until there's no more mathematical chances that we can get in top 4, I'm not talking transfers. Big up to everyone coming in. Hope you guys have a great morning. Thank you again, John Morgan. Big up to you, Manu Tata. Hope you have a good day, bro. Everyone joining me, if you're not live and you're in the non-live section, leave a comment. Let us know how you feel. GB, we know you love Adama Traore, but know what? Nothing is stopping me from bringing Greenwood back. And if I was the director of football and the recruitment manager, a lot of people would be mad at me because the guy would be wearing the number 7 next season. I'm telling you now. Yeah, bro. Like, listen, I'm of the type of mentality where if you're gonna do something, you do it with the most confident step forward. You know what I mean? Whether you're being shameless, you're being factual, honest, opinionated, or what, you be confident about it because you got to back yourself. You got to back what your thoughts and your decisions. And I would say Manchester United has been a club in my lifetime that always said to me that they went across the grain. They did their own thing. They did what they thought was just and was right. Backing this club to do the same thing again. And you know what, GB? I agree with you. Let's get Oliver Giroud just for one season. He's gonna come in in the last 10 minutes of every game and score a header or something like that. It's gonna be interesting. You know, we need something. We need someone that's gonna provide some direction for the young strike force that we have. But I'm not just saying get Oliver Giroud alone. I'm saying we get him and we get Benjamin Sesko. 35 million, you can't beat that price. Two young strikers fitting in a similar profile, and they got a senior player to learn from. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be fun times. You know, if it happens, it happens. If it's not, well, you know, it was not meant to be.
I think that is wishful thinking, though. Like, I wouldn't take Giroud. Benjamin Sesko. Then you potentially, for me personally, if you're gonna buy Benjamin Sesko, you need to be prepared to play 4-4-2, two strikers. You know.
Why not, bro? I feel like the fluidity in the team. If you could switch to a 4-4-2 sometimes in certain games, that's good. I mean, we were the kings of the 4-4-2, my bro. So
Yeah, but
therefore, you
look at
know,
the wingers that we have. The wingers that we have is not wide midfielders. They are actual wingers, like your modern day cut in, modern day take a shot wingers. You see, unless you want to get wingers that's going to cross the ball or that's going to be able to keep the ball. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how that works, honestly.
hardworking striker is what Jarvis is saying. You know,
Mm,
and you know we could have had that for no more than 12 million this summer. You know, even in January we could have had that with Marcos Leonardo, but we let him go to Benfica. And you know, Rui Costa, guys, this guy is the 100 million man. He doesn't like to sell players for less. So you know what? I see Sachiv is talking about get Lewandowski. I was saying we
Ten
should have
Hag.
definitely got him before we let him
No.
go to Barca. You know, I mean, it's all about the experience and what he could teach the youngsters. You know, it's not really about him being a starter week in, week out. You know what I
Mm,
mean? He's a big name. He's going to be a big wage, and at the same time, that's always going to be where the balance is. Because as you can see, United right now, we're trying to cut down on the wage bill. So definitely, I think we're going to go younger. You know, I'm thinking more
mm,
like a Joshua Xerxes or maybe a Benjamin Sesko. I think Sesko definitely, just like what Kenny Fan is saying, but that's because I think profile for profile, he's almost exactly like Hoyland. Hardworking, good with the ball, good on the ball, and he's got a lethal finish. So, you know, just the thoughts. You know, maybe tomorrow John Morgan is to come in with some of his own reckless views and opinions tomorrow before he ends the stream. But today it's mine. So you know what? Have a good day, everyone. Big up to you. Thank you for coming in. We'll see you again tomorrow. And this has been your morning views with your boy MarkN MUFC fan and John Morgan. Yo, Jarvis, that's not a bad shout. I would definitely take Bowen. I'm telling you now, I would take him. I am taking him. I would sell them Mount. And that's my word on that. I would sell Mount to West Ham and take Bowen. That's 100% done deal for me. Don't know what you're saying, John. I know you're laughing,
uh-uh.
but we'll discuss this later
No.
in the reckless debate. You know what I mean? But I'm coming with this shout. I'm taking Bowen and I'm selling Mason Mount, bro. 100%. Hardworking as heck. I'm telling you, the dude is hardworking. He's good. Bro, this dude, bro, Bowen is the kind of guy you bring on in the last 25, 35 minutes, bro, to kill a team off, bro. I'm telling you. This guy, hardworking. He have a good shot on him and he know what to do, bro. He know how to finish. And you know what, to be fair, we're missing a ginger in the squad, bro. We always just have a ginger in the squad, and we're missing one. Need to get this guy. Big up to you, KennyFANtv. Big up to you, Jarvis Cocker. Yo, thanks so much, my bro John Morgan. I'll see you a bit later. I know you're laughing at the takes, but definitely, bro, I think it's a good shout for Bowen. It might work for us. You know what I
Mm.
mean? He's a very intelligent footballer as well, so I could see him, you know, fit in the mold of a system that's high intensity counter pressing, using a lot
I
of
don't think he's
football
a bad.
IQ.
I don't think he's a bad player. I just think for what we need and for what we have, I don't know if I would buy Bowen.
Think about it again. When the reckless
Yeah.
debates start, maybe it will hit you, bro. I'm telling you. Bowen in
Mm.
our squad, he will provide something different, and that's what we need. You know, he's intelligent, he has high energy, he can press well, and he's definitely a threat going forward. Guys, leave your thoughts and your comments. Let me know if you're like me and you would take Bowen and sell Mason Mount. In the non-live section, drop it in, let it know. I'll be replying to those later, and we'll be discussing them tomorrow in the morning show. Big up to you, John. Hope you all have a great day. Thank you for joining us. It's been your boy MarkN, MUFC fan, and it's been John Morgan, and it's the Manchester United News Morning Views, guys. Catch you later.
Oh.